Mørkgonga is a steep and narrow gorge carved into the side of the mountain. From a distance, it looks like nothing more than a small crack in a vertical rock wall. But as you get closer, you realize it's actually a tall, dramatic passage rising high above the forest. Looking down into the gorge, Mørkgonga reveals its true scale. The forest below spreads like a patchwork of autumn colors, while the rocky walls rise steeply above, guiding your gaze upward. It's one of those moments that makes you pause just to take it all in. Flying over the gorge, Mørkgonga stretches out below, a narrow passage between steep cliffs. The view opens up to Tyrifjorden, one of Norway's largest lakes, known for its deep blue waters and scenic surroundings. We're starting our hike from the parking area at the foot of Mørkgonga. You can easily find this place. Just follow the road and look for the sign along the way. From here, the trail leads straight into the gorge, and our adventure begins. Now we're ready to start hiking. The trail takes us past forests and rocky areas. It's a good idea to have water, a snack, and sturdy ankle-high shoes, because the path goes over roots and stones, sometimes wet. The parking here is paid. For just under 6 hours, the cost is around 120 kroner. Payment can be made at the machine or via the Easy Park app, and it's easy to follow the instructions. Here is the information board from the DNT, the Norwegian Trekking Association, showing the hiking routes in this forest area. It's a helpful guide for planning the hike and understanding the terrain ahead. Now the hike begins, heading uphill into the forest. It's useful to have a mobile app, which allows you to plan the route and keep track of your location, or a map, to make sure you're following the correct path. From here, we'll take you step by step along the entire route, from the parking area up to the summit. We'll show all the main points of interest, several viewpoints, and pause at spots where it's easy to take the wrong path, so you can follow the trail with confidence. The trail is marked with blue signs on trees, trunks, or stones, which guide you along the correct path. Following these markers makes it easier to stay on track throughout the hike. Along the trail, you'll come across several streams. From time to time, the sound of flowing water accompanies you through the forest, even when the source isn't visible. Soon, we'll also pass a small waterfall, adding a peaceful touch to the hike. After a short stretch over roots and stones, the trail opens onto a wide path. For a while, this gentle and easy ascent makes the hike more comfortable and enjoyable. Along the way, you'll pass several areas with rock slides, likely formed long ago as the landscape shaped itself. There are two main routes to reach Mørkgonga. One path goes directly through the gorge. It's shorter, but quite challenging. The DNT advises caution, especially after heavy rain, as there's a risk of rock slides. Even a stone dislodged by someone ahead can be dangerous. Despite this, many hikers still choose this route. The second route, which is the one we took, goes around the gorge. The entire route is about 3.5 kilometers one way. It's less demanding and is recommended by the DNT from April to November. In winter, it can be more difficult and a bit risky. This circular path offers a steady ascent through the forest, with plenty of opportunity to enjoy the surroundings. After walking carefully over rocks and roots, we reach a DNT sign where the trail splits. To the right is our easier, circular route around the gorge. To the left, a short path leads uphill to the starting point of the more challenging route through the gorge, with a warning about potential rock slides. Hikers should choose their route carefully, depending on experience and conditions. Even during summer or autumn, it's important to stay careful on the trail. As you can see, a moment of inattention can lead to a fall. Wet leaves covering rocks can be just as slippery as ice. Trails like this may look safe at first, but nature always has surprises. It's a reminder to wear sturdy shoes, watch your step, and take your time, especially when walking over rocks or roots covered with leaves. In Norway, there's an app called Help 113, which allows you to quickly and easily call for help in case of an accident. Finally, the trail opens onto a rocky landslide area where the trees give way and the view stretches out. From here, Tyrifjorden comes into full view, along with the surrounding landscape. It's a moment to pause and take in the vastness and beauty of this part of Norway. From here, the slope becomes noticeably steeper. It's not dangerous, but staying alert is a good idea as you continue upward. A bit further up the trail, we reach another DNT sign. Even though the path ahead looks tempting, this is where you need to turn left into the forest. This hike took place shortly after strong winds had passed through the area, so a few small challenges waited along the way. One of them was a fallen tree blocking the trail. Stepping off the marked path can sometimes be risky, and at the end of the hike, another hiker mentioned that only a few days earlier, while walking around this very tree, he was bitten by a European viper. Their bite isn't usually life-threatening, but it is painful and can cause complications. That's why it's important to stay alert, avoid tall grass and narrow gaps between rocks, and make sure you always see where you're placing your feet. Even walking with louder steps can help keep wildlife at a distance. After passing the fallen tree, we're back on the main trail again. From here, the path becomes clearer, and we continue steadily toward the top. Now we reach the edge of the forest, where the trees open up and reveal a beautiful view of the lake below. It's a perfect place to pause for a moment. Here, it's important to keep following the blue trail markers on trees, stumps, and rocks, as well as the DNT signs. This is another spot where the path ahead might look inviting, but the correct route turns away from it. Staying on the marked trail makes all the difference. Ahead we pass a sign marking a nature reserve. Areas like this in Norway are strictly protected, created to preserve rare ecosystems, plant life, wildlife, and the landscape itself. Even though the public is allowed to visit, there are clear rules that help keep the environment untouched. You're free to walk the marked trails, but you should avoid disturbing animals, damaging vegetation, or stepping off the path where it might harm the fragile ground. Picking plants, breaking branches, or making campfires is usually prohibited, and dogs must be kept under close control. In short, nature reserves are places to experience quietly and respectfully, allowing the landscape to stay just as wild and pristine for the next visitors. Along the way, we need to hop over a small stream. Little moments like this add variety to the hike and make you feel a bit closer to nature. It's part of what makes this trail so enjoyable. We're slowly getting closer to our destination. You can tell by the landscape beginning to appear through the trees, those higher viewpoints signaling that the top is not far ahead. Sometimes, when the terrain allows it and the spot feels safe, you can step a few meters off the main trail to enjoy the view. Little detours like this can make the hike even more rewarding. Here's another spot where you really need to trust the blue trail markers. We come across an encouraging sign, only 400 meters left to go. A small reminder that the final viewpoint is now just around the corner. We can see a cabin ahead. In Norway, it's common to find small cabins in forests or mountains. Some are private, while others serve as shelters where hikers can rest. The DNT also operates its own cabins, which can be found and booked on the DNT website, making it easier to plan trekking trips and overnight stays. Here we reach the final sign before the summit. Turning left will take us shortly to the Mørkgonga Gorge. If you continue to the right, the trail leads to another viewpoint called Tyrifjorden. From there, you can enjoy panoramic views of the surrounding forest, lakes, and distant hills, offering a broader perspective of the landscape beyond the gorge. Along the way, we pass another nature reserve sign. It's a good reminder to respect these protected areas by staying on the trail and avoiding any disturbance to the plants and wildlife. Finally, we reach our destination. The gorge opens up before us, revealing its stunning beauty and the surrounding landscape. Although the path up through the gorge appears challenging, many hikers still choose this route, considering it more fun and rewarding for the experience and the views it offers. Here, a small sign warns of potential rock slides. It's a reminder to be careful while navigating the trail. Finally, we reach the edge of the gorge, where a bench invites us to rest. It's the perfect spot to catch your breath and enjoy the breathtaking view. We're now standing at approximately 545 meters above sea level, near the edge of Mørkgonga. Below us stretches a steep cliff. It's part of what makes this place so dramatic. It's hard to say the exact vertical drop, but such rock faces in this area demand respect. Keep a safe distance from the edge, watch your footing, don't underestimate the height, and enjoy the view. Looking at the gorge again, now with a few hikers in view, you really get a sense of nature's scale. Here, the vastness of the rocks and cliffs reminds us just how small a human being is in comparison. It's time to head back. This hike was truly worth it. The place leaves a strong impression and commands respect. On the way down, it's worth taking a short detour of just a few hundred meters in the opposite direction to the previously mentioned Tyrifjorden. There, you'll find a beautiful lake perfect for a short rest, enjoying the views and preparing for the journey back. Perhaps next time, we'll continue all the way to Tyrifjorden itself. Here we have the serene lake shimmering quietly among the trees. It's a peaceful spot to pause, breathe in the fresh air, and take a moment to appreciate the calm beauty of nature. The vast forests stretch out as Mørkgonga gradually reveals its grandeur in the distance. The rocky cliffs of the gorge show their dramatic scale, framed by endless greenery. There's a sense of serenity and awe, a feeling of being immersed in a truly wild landscape, where every step along the trail brings you closer to nature. This concludes our hike. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing this journey. If you enjoyed the film, consider subscribing to the channel for more adventures. And don't forget to check out our other videos to explore even more of the Nordic stunning landscapes.